Hi, welcome back to Ask Me About Dyslexia, and if you're new, welcome. My name is Pam Spock and I'm a dyslexia specialist. Today I'm going to be just sharing some things with you that I'm going to be working on during a long car trip, so stay tuned. Okay, so whenever we go on a long trip, I have to plan to bring a lot of things to work on because I am kind of a nervous passenger and I am not allowed to watch the road, so says my husband. If I watch the road, I start getting nervous and he tells me to go back to whatever it is that I'm working on. So I might as well just plan on doing that. And so I thought I'd share with you some of the dyslexia-related things that I'm going to be working on because, of course, I have many facets right now of my dyslexia business that are going on, and I thought I'd share with you what I'd be working on. And by the time that you actually see this video, I will have already come back, and the next video will be an update of those things and what I got done in the car. So, and also just a general update on my channel and how things are going. So let's take a look. All right, so I have here that I'm going to be making some games, and you've already seen this game from the Dollar Tree video that I made. I have now laminated the pieces and I'm going to take them in the car with me to cut them out. Okay, these are the parts and pieces of a prefix and suffix game that I'm working on, but I don't quite have all of them. I still need to gather that. Got a few days before we leave. So I will show you how that all goes together in the next video. Okay, something else that I need to work on, because I can just bring my laptop and work on this, is to transcribe my YouTube videos, or at least some of them, into blog posts. When I first started making videos, I make it sound like it was so long ago, it was only a couple months ago, 2 or 3 months ago. When I first started making videos, I would type up a blog post and I would actually use that as my speaking notes to make the videos. And I made several that way, and then somehow I stopped doing that, and I just started kind of talking off of some notes. I guess as I became more comfortable with it, I felt like it went a little smoother for me to just talk from a few notes that I jotted down, especially if I'm telling a story. Just some little things to jog my memory are enough. And so there have been several of those lately, and so I just I didn't do blog posts for those. So I do want to make sure that I get blog posts for at least most of my videos. So I'm going to just kind of go back and get the main points of what I talked about into a blog post. In a related note, if you were paying attention, if you watched my office tour of my before and after the office makeover tour, you heard me mention that I am working on a book. And yes, it is true, I am working on a Parent's Guide to Dyslexia book, and the blog posts that I do actually help me a lot because it gives me a base. Like each of those blog posts is a base for a chapter, and I'm able to take that blog post and use it as the starting point for a chapter, so I don't have to come up with all of that over again. It's already right there. I just add in some more examples or a story from my life or more details. So I'm also going to be working on my book as I'm writing along. Laptops are great. Something that is a constant with me is coming up with new video ideas. This right here is my planning journal that I use for all of my YouTube videos, and so I'll have that with me to plan future videos and to jot down ideas. And I'm already looking ahead to October and December, lots of good ideas there. And speaking of planning videos, one of the things that I am planning is to do some interviews. I already have one lined up to do, and so I want to put together the questions that I need to ask the person that I'm interviewing. I'm also going to do a review, like a mid-year review, because this is June. That's halfway through the year, and I wrote goals at the beginning of the year, and every month I go over those goals. But I just really want to do a mid-year review of everything and see how I'm doing, see if there's some things that I could be doing better. So I'm going to have my all-important bullet journal with me. This has been wonderful for me to plan goals and to really keep a hold of the future. What's happening this week, what's happening this month, what's happening next month, what's happening throughout the year. I just feel so much more calm and put together when I have everything all in one place. So I'll have this with me and work on that mid-year review. And I'll be sharing some of those things with you as they relate to my channel and my book and things on the follow-up video that I do for this one. Also, something that I've gotten behind on is reading in like professional journals, and so I'm going to be taking the latest two perspectives. They are this is the Perspectives on Language and Literacy. This is put out by the International Dyslexia Association, and each issue is kind of usually focused on a theme, and each article summarizes research that has been done on that topic and recent research, and so it's really good for me to keep up with these things, and it's often very timely. Like this one, Dyslexia and Transitions, actually came out at right at the same time as I had just gone to a workshop about making the transition from high school to college, and I ended up doing a presentation about that at Parent Support Group, and it's like everything just kind of comes at the same time from different directions, and I'm able to learn in different ways about the same thing. So, but I have not read all of this yet, nor have I read all of this yet, and so I'm going to take those with me and see if there's anything in here that would be good for my book or for the YouTube channel, and so it's also just good for me personally as a dyslexia professional to keep up on the latest research and best practices. And in a similar note, a few months ago I went to a dyslexia conference and took a couple of workshops, and I have been using the things that I learned in the workshops, but I want to go over my notes again as I'm writing along and see if there's any more nuggets that I want to pull. Oftentimes I leave conferences and I'm overwhelmed with information, and I'm able to put maybe like one or two things into practice right away, and those things make a huge difference. But if I go back later, I may be reminded about something that I learned that day, something else that I could put into practice. So I would like to see what else I could use, or maybe something that might spark a video idea. So I'm going to go over those things that I got at that conference. Okay, now this may seem like a whole lot of work, but I love this kind of thing. I just love to work on my business. I love everything dyslexia. I love creating things. I love putting together content. I love helping people. I love learning things to help me do my job better. So this is a lot of work-related stuff, but I really enjoy it. But there's one more thing that sort of relates that I will be doing in the car, and that is that I will be reading aloud to my kids. Now, if you have watched my video about how to get books into kids who don't like to read, you heard about how right now my family is currently reading every night after dinner. So we sit down at the table to have dinner, and after dinner, somebody reads a chapter from a book that we're all reading together. And right now we are working on our 7th book of this year, 2018, and I am just amazed at how much reading you can get done when you only read a chapter a day. And there's days that we miss, And sometimes I bring the book along in the car, and we're able to get some reading done in the car. So I will, of course, be bringing the book along with us. I will bring this book. This is our current book about missionary Amy Carmichael. And we still have a few days before we're going to leave. And so we're about halfway through this book. I'm probably going to bring another one in addition to this one because we're going to be getting pretty close to finishing it by the time that we leave. And so I'm going to bring another book along with us in case we finish this one, which we probably will. We have been reading a set of these books, and this is actually the last one of the set of missionary stories that we have been reading. So I think I'll change it up to something. I've been thinking about maybe Where the Red Fern Grows, classic, and read that to my kids. And my husband too. He enjoys the stories, and a lot of times he's the one doing the reading. So that's what I'm going to be working on as I ride along in the car, not looking at the road, and keeping everybody much happier and less nervous because Mom often sets the tone for how things go. I might also bring along an audiobook. If I don't bring some other things for my kids to do, then they're just going to zone out on their tablets the whole entire time. And so bringing some audiobooks along would be another way to get books into my kids, and without me having to put in the effort. A lot of times on these long trips, if I'm reading for a long time, my voice gets really tired, my throat gets dry. So I might also look into an audiobook. I might make that my second one that I bring along. So I need to add that to the list. So I hope that you have enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments if you're like me and you need distraction as you ride along in the car on long trips. And let me know if you'd like to see more videos like this, just kind of chatty, like what's going on in my life and how I get things done. So as I said, the next video is going to be an update of how all of this went, what I got done. I'll show you that game that I have started and will hopefully have all done. And I'm also going to give you an update on how things have been going with my business in the first half of this year. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.